Season 4, Episode 5 of From is easily one of the most important episodes for Jade's character so far, because for the first time it feels like the town stops, giving him random clues, and actually starts dragging him directly into whatever truth is hidden underneath everything. The entire episode revolves around Jade making a dangerous decision. Instead of waiting for visions to happen naturally, he decides he's going to trigger them himself. Jade has spent multiple seasons trying to solve the town logically. Every time he sees symbols, hears voices, or experiences hallucinations, he treats them like puzzles that can be decoded. But in this episode, you can tell he's frustrated, because none of the normal methods are getting him anywhere fast enough. So he decides to use mushrooms to intentionally open his mind and force another vision. Boyd stays with him during the process because even Boyd realizes Jade might actually be onto something. At this point in the series, Boyd has already seen enough impossible things that he no longer dismisses supernatural experiences outright. Even though he thinks the idea is dangerous, he still agrees to help monitor Jade while the mushrooms kick in. Before Jade starts, they come up with a safety plan. The safe word is Capricorn. If Jade loses control, Boyd is supposed to say the word and pull him back to reality. At first, the whole thing almost feels awkward and experimental. Jade is nervous, Boyd is skeptical, and the atmosphere is tense because both of them understand this could either lead to answers or completely destroy Jade mentally. Once the mushrooms begin taking effect, the episode immediately changes tone. The sound design becomes distorted. Background noises stretch unnaturally. Shadows move strangely. Jade starts noticing tiny details changing around him, and the show slowly blurs the line between hallucination and reality. That's what makes the sequence so effective. It doesn't feel like a normal drug trip. It feels like the town itself is taking control of Jade's perception. Then the spiders start appearing. Spiders are everywhere throughout the vision. Jade sees them crawling across surfaces, emerging from darkness, and appearing in places where they shouldn't exist. The imagery feels symbolic, almost like the town is wrapping him deeper into a web he can't escape from. At the same time, Boyd begins realizing that Jade is slipping away mentally faster than expected. He tries talking to him normally, but Jade is already becoming disconnected from the real world. Then comes one of the most emotional moments in the episode. Jade encounters a younger version of himself. The younger Jade is sitting there calmly playing violin, and the scene immediately feels wrong in the best possible way. The younger version isn't acting like a memory. He behaves more like a guide or a messenger. He speaks calmly while present-day Jade becomes increasingly emotional and unstable. The violin is important because it connects directly to Jade's childhood trauma. The episode strongly implies that music became a way for Jade to emotionally escape difficult moments when he was younger. The town isn't just showing him monsters, it's forcing him to confront guilt, fear, and buried memories. That's something the show has been doing more and more lately. The monsters outside are terrifying, but the town's real power might actually be psychological. It attacks people emotionally before it attacks them physically. Young Jade begins leading him deeper into the vision, almost like he's guiding him toward something hidden. The further they go, the more disconnected Jade becomes from reality. Boyd keeps trying to ground him, but it's obvious the safe word isn't going to work much longer. Then Jade encounters the man pinned to the tree again. This scene is probably one of the creepiest moments in the entire episode. The man looks horrifying, but what makes the scene truly unsettling is how calm everything feels. There's almost a ritualistic atmosphere surrounding the encounter. The tree man tells Jade one word: remember. That line is probably the single most important line in Jade's storyline. Up until now, Jade has believed he's discovering clues for the first time, but this episode starts hinting that maybe these visions aren't about discovery at all. Maybe they're about memory. Maybe Jade is connected to the town in ways he doesn't fully understand yet. Then the scene gets even worse. The tree man forces Jade to drink blood from a skull filled with spiders. The imagery here is brutal. The skull, the blood, the spiders, it all feels ancient and ceremonial, almost like Jade is being initiated into some deeper layer of the town's mystery. After he drinks from the skull, the visions intensify immediately. Boyd notices something is seriously wrong and starts repeating the safe word: Capricorn, Capricorn. But Jade barely reacts anymore. That's the moment Boyd realizes Jade has gone somewhere mentally that he may not be able to come back from easily. The environment around Jade begins changing completely. The woods no longer look normal. Locations blend together unnaturally. Time feels distorted. The episode creates this feeling that Jade is no longer walking through physical space but through memories, fears and hidden truths connected to the town. Then the word Ankui returns. Every time this word appears in the series, it feels tied to the children and whatever ancient force controls the town. In Jade's visions, the word almost sounds like a command or a warning. The episode still refuses to explain exactly what it means, but it clearly carries enormous importance. As the visions continue, Jade starts seeing horrifying images connected to death, sacrifice, and the underground mystery surrounding the children. The episode never fully explains what he's seeing, but it heavily implies the town's horrors go back much farther than anyone realized. One of the reasons this episode works so well is because it never gives clean answers. Instead, it creates the feeling that Jade is glimpsing pieces of something massive and ancient that human beings were never supposed to fully understand. Eventually the visions lead Jade underground. This entire sequence feels claustrophobic and nightmarish. The lighting becomes darker. The sounds become more distorted. And Jade looks genuinely terrified for the first time in a long time. Normally Jade responds to fear with sarcasm or logic, but in this episode his confidence completely breaks down. Then comes the coffin scene. Monsters drag Jade toward a coffin while he screams and struggles helplessly. The imagery here is terrifying because it feels symbolic instead of random. It's like the town is trying to bury him alive emotionally and spiritually. Once inside the coffin, a child whispers Ankui to him before the lid closes shut. And then suddenly, Jade wakes up back with Boyd. Physically, he never went anywhere. But mentally, you can tell something inside him changed completely. By the end of the episode, Jade believes he learned something important about the children and possibly about how the cycle of the town works. The episode intentionally keeps his realization vague, but you can see it on his face. He's no longer just chasing clues blindly anymore. He genuinely thinks he's close to understanding the truth, and honestly that might make him more dangerous than ever. What makes episode 5 so powerful for Jade's character is that it completely destroys his old way of thinking. Jade entered the episode believing he could solve the town like a mathematical equation, but the visions force him to confront something emotional, spiritual, and deeply personal instead. The town doesn't just want Jade to think. It wants him to remember, and by the end of the episode, it feels like Jade has finally crossed a line that none of the other characters fully understand yet.